Secrets of Chinese Sages greets you. There is a saying, we've heard great wisdom since childhood, yet we still struggle to live well. Think carefully and you'll find it true. In this world, each person is a unique existence. Many universal truths that seem applicable to all may not actually fit everyone. On the other hand, some ideas that sound irrational at first may conceal profound wisdom about life. I understand your life is busy. What I'm about to share is not easy to grasp, especially not in one listen, so I suggest you stay until the end, replay it during your downtime or while doing chores. Save it, share it, and revisit it. I dare say, within a few short months, your thinking will evolve to a whole new level. Let's begin with 39 unconventional truths reflect the depth of life through the lens of experience. 1. As long as you don't feel embarrassed, others will be the ones who feel awkward. In real life, being thick-skinned is often essential. Only with thick skin do you get a chance to win. Don't stop what you're doing just because others are watching or judging. People may look down on you or feel ashamed on your behalf, but if you respect yourself, you won't feel shame. And when your efforts finally bear fruit, those who once mocked you will be the ones feeling humiliated. 2. Don't hesitate to say no, because those who have no shame in making things hard for you are not good people. Learn to say no. Help when you can, but don't waste kindness on the undeserving. If someone dares to put you in a difficult spot, they likely don't care about your well-being. So say no, and say it firmly. 3. A piece of iron can be forged into a sword, but a piece of wood can only become a toothpick. You need to understand what kind of person you are and what you're suited for. Choosing the wrong path makes every effort meaningless. Each person has different circumstances, experiences, and perspectives. That's why it's crucial to pick a path that matches your nature. Otherwise, no amount of effort will help. As billionaire Zhang Chaoyang once said, sometimes opportunities and choices matter more than personal effort. Many fail not because they lack ability, but because they've chosen the wrong direction, like a turtle on land trying to outrun a rabbit. But in the water, that same turtle will leave the rabbit far behind. There isn't only one path to success, but if you head in the wrong direction, it won't matter how far you go. 4. Money isn't omnipotent, but without money, you can't do much. In this world, 90% of problems require money to solve. The remaining 10%, they usually need even more money. While money may not be everything, it plays a critical role in life. Most people spend their lives chasing it because it grants access to the things they truly want. 5. Stop worrying so much about how others see you or what they say, because not everyone matters. Many people are too obsessed with the opinions of others. But the truth is, what really matters is how you see yourself. Listen to feedback from those who truly care about you. But as for those who mock or belittle you, their opinions aren't worth a second thought. 6. If you don't fight for your own dreams, you'll end up working for someone else's. In this life, if you don't strive to learn, grow, and pursue your aspirations, you will inevitably spend your days fulfilling the dreams of others. You either fight for your own purpose or become a tool for someone else's success. Don't rely on luck. It rarely visits those who wait passively. 7. A good person becomes a saint after enduring 81 hardships, while a wicked one only needs to let go. This means it's much harder to be good than to be bad. A good person is always giving, while a bad one just takes. Giving is hard, taking is easy. The moment a selfish person stops taking, they're praised for being considerate. Yet when a generous person stops giving, they are criticized. So yes, be good, but not too good. Being overly kind often leads to being taken for granted. 8. What sets you apart from a stray dog is having a home. A person who drifts aimlessly through life isn't so different from a stray. The main difference? A home to return to. A true home isn't just a building, it's a sanctuary of peace for the soul. Without a place that gives your heart shelter, you're just as lost. Many wander far from home for survival, but in doing so, lose the comfort and security of a true home. 9. Dying 1,000 deaths still won't make you quit your job. That's how much responsibility weighs. Some people complain daily about work, about being mistreated, about being overwhelmed, yet they never quit. Why? Because they have a family to support. Their stress is immense and venting is the only relief. No matter how much they suffer, they keep going. for their children, for their aging parents. They endure because there's no treasure at home, just mouths to feed. People who carry the burden of an entire family don't have the luxury to walk away. 10. Sharing a little hardship together is fine, but too much and the bond may break. Many couples go through this. A bit of suffering can strengthen love, but when the hardship becomes overwhelming, even love may falter. The saying, husbands and wives are like birds in the forest. When calamity strikes, each flies their own way, reflects this truth. It's not always the case, of course, but the rising divorce rate among young couples shows how many relationships can't withstand extended adversity. When problems grow too big, some choose separation just to survive. 11. The world is ruthless. If you're not capable, step back. Don't wear a crown too heavy for your head. If you lack the ability, learn to retreat, improve yourself, and return stronger. The world outside is harsh, and blind courage will get you nowhere. Many people dive into business or big decisions without preparation, only to face ruin. Without the right foundation, they lose everything and fall into debt. 12. Some people come into your life to love you, others to teach you a lesson. Appreciate those who warm your heart, but also thank those who hurt you. They've made you wiser and stronger. The pain they bring helps you see through human nature and builds your resilience. In life, everyone you meet serves a purpose. Cherish those who care. And for those who cause you pain, learn, let go, and walk away. Stay away from toxic people. 13. Staying up late feels great until it sends you to the crematorium. What's the most important thing in life? Many would say money, but the truth is, health matters more. Without it, wealth is meaningless. Young people often ignore their well-being, staying up late and living recklessly. They don't realize how precious health is until they lose it. Those who face serious illness understand, no matter how much money you have, a healthy body is your true fortune. 14. You keep thinking once this busy period ends, you'll get to rest, but another wave of busyness always awaits. Life is a never-ending list of responsibilities. Family, work, raising kids, buying a home, it never stops. People want to relax, but are afraid they won't have enough money. But if you never take a break, you'll burn out. When it's time to rest or step outside and breathe, allow yourself that space. 15. Balance work and rest. Only then can you live with energy and motivation. We are not machines. Endless labor is not what life is meant to be. Without balance, even the strongest will collapse. A life of constant toil is no life at all. 16. Life doesn't offer rehearsals. Every day is a live performance. People say life is like a play, but there are no practice runs. Every moment is real, unfolding live. Unlike movies, you don't get retakes. What's done is done. So treasure your time, fulfill your responsibilities, and strive to be the best version of yourself every single day. 17. Those who think they're brilliant often live in tiny circles. People who constantly praise themselves usually exist in small worlds, surrounded by others of similar or lesser ability. They convince themselves they're exceptional because they don't want to admit others are more capable. It would hurt their ego. So they only compare themselves to the weak or those on their level, showing off what little talent they have. 18. The fastest way to ruin a relationship is to lend money. Many are hesitant to lend money because once it's gone, it may never come back. The sad truth, most people who borrow and never return it are close friends or family. You don't just lose money, you lose trust and the relationship itself. Lending money can destroy bonds faster than betrayal. Even with those you love, be cautious. If they don't pay it back, you lose both the money and the person. 19. Falling down doesn't matter. Stand up and cry if you must, but keep going. Strength doesn't mean you never fall, it means you rise each time you do. Strong people stumble too. They cry, feel pain, feel lost, but after every fall, they wipe their tears and move forward. Life isn't meant to be smooth. What matters is that you don't give up. Cry if you need to, but don't stop walking. 20. Clarity is just what the boss says it is. This saying may sound absurd, but it's a harsh truth. In this world, when you succeed, everything you say becomes law. If you achieve enough, your words are treated like gold. Employees often idolize successful leaders, accepting their words as gospel. That's the reality of power. Success defines truth. 21. If you crave to be understood by everyone, your life must be painfully average. In this world, no one truly understands you except yourself. Even your closest friends can't fully grasp your inner world. If everyone gets you, it means your life is predictable, ordinary, easy to read. The truly exceptional don't beg for understanding. They seek self-awareness, and that is enough. 22. Live boldly, because in the end, we all die. How long will you keep doubting yourself? Life is short. If you let self-doubt linger, it will rob you of every opportunity. Eventually, we all face the same fate: death. No one escapes it, no matter how glorious their life. So while you're still breathing, be brave. Don't live to satisfy others. Live for yourself. Living true to who you are is the greatest mission of this life. 23. Every day comes with its own challenge. Some people give up at the first sign of struggle, not realizing that bigger trials lie ahead. If small problems break your spirit, how will you face the real storms of life? Think of life as a never-ending level-up journey. The challenges you face now are just preparing you for tougher ones later. Build your resilience. Train your heart. The hardships now are just warm-ups. 24. When you're successful, everything you say is wisdom. When you fail, even truth sounds foolish. There's a saying, the poor man lives in a crowded city and no one asks his name. The rich man lives on a mountain and relatives visit often. This world values results. People admire success and ignore struggle. Once you understand this, you'll stop wasting time on pointless arguments. Focus on learning and growing. When the time is right, success will speak for you. 25. Life is about laughing at others, then being laughed at in return. Don't be afraid of mockery. Those who laugh at you will be laughed at too. And if you're honest, you've probably laughed at others before. We all have. So don't let ridicule stop you. Do what you need to do. Once you understand human nature, these things won't bother you anymore. 26. The courtesy of the poor is worthless. The arrogance of the rich is strangely attractive. In this material world, a poor person's gentleness is often ignored, while the arrogance of the wealthy is celebrated. That may sound cruel, but it's true. Just do your part in life. Don't bend over backwards to please others, especially when you're struggling. People don't respect politeness without power. Be kind, but never desperate for approval. 27. If you surpass others just slightly, they envy you. If you surpass them by far, they admire you. A beggar doesn't envy a wealthy businessman, but he might envy another beggar who eats better. The human flaw is this: people want everyone to live well, but not better than themselves. We only compare ourselves with those within our circle. When someone breaks out of that circle and rises far above, we admire them. But when someone just slightly outpaces us, envy brews. That's the twisted psychology of comparison. 28. As children, our smiles come from joy. As adults, they become a mask. When we were young, a smile meant happiness. It was genuine from the heart. But as we grow, life burdens us. True joy fades, but the smile remains, forced, polite, strategic. We smile not because we're happy, but because society demands it. The warmth of innocence is replaced by the coolness of survival. 29. The world exists only because you do. The moment you're gone, your world disappears too. What we perceive as reality is created by our consciousness. If your brain shuts down, the entire world vanishes with it. From your perspective, everyone lives in a different version of the world. With 100 people come 100 realities. So never belittle yourself. You are the central character in your story. Everyone else is just there to keep you company. 30. Stay optimistic. An optimistic life is a beautiful one. A pessimistic life is the ugliest. People are drawn to brightness. Optimism helps you solve problems, improves your health, and makes the future hopeful. A bright outlook doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you the strength to overcome them. Optimism is the paint that colors the dull canvas of life with hope and possibility. 31. In life, a little shamelessness helps. If you're always shy and reserved, how can you live freely? On the journey of growth, many suffer from oversensitivity. They're too scared to speak up, too afraid to be judged. At work, they avoid asking questions even when they don't understand, which leads to mistakes. On weekends, they want to rest, but feel guilty turning down friends, so they go out exhausted, draining themselves further. Life is too short to be ruled by others' opinions. Dignity is overrated. It's the cheapest thing in the world. Opportunities don't wait. If you're too timid to seize them, you'll stay stuck. Be bold. Live for yourself. That's something to be proud of. 32. A hungry person has one worry. A full person has many. The ancients said those who do not know contentment will always be troubled. Most of our suffering comes from endless desire. Once we get something, we immediately want more. We forget to appreciate what we have. We chase endlessly, and the chasing exhausts us. The wise understand what to keep and what to let go. Only when you know what is enough can you find peace. Happiness isn't about having more, but about cherishing what you already have. 33. If you don't understand the exam question, you won't score high. If you don't understand your partner, love won't last. If you don't understand your customers, business won't grow. In life, we interact with people constantly. Some we grow close to, some we drift from. Often, the cause of that distance is a lack of empathy. Without empathy, no matter how hard you try, you'll always miss the other person's true needs. Empathy allows you to stand in someone else's shoes, to think deeply before you speak, to respond with compassion. People with empathy are a joy to be around. You don't have to pretend with them. They understand. This is the peak of emotional intelligence. 34. Always keep your smile. Otherwise, all those years of brushing your teeth were wasted. Life is a mirror. Whether it reflects joy or sorrow depends on how you look at it. Face it with gloom and everything becomes heavier. Face it with a smile and you'll move forward with grace. There was a famous old man known for his radiant smile. His name was Nice Rosen. He brought joy to many, but behind his smile was deep pain. He was fired after college. His beloved son died of illness, yet he never stopped creating. He kept writing. One falling star doesn't darken the sky. One wilting flower doesn't kill spring. Life is filled with both joy and sorrow. Don't let a single hardship ruin your whole journey. Everyone has tough days, but whether you cry or laugh, it's still a day. So choose to smile. Remind yourself to smile through the storms. That's how difficulties begin to fade. 35. If you think others are complicated, it's probably because you're not simple either. In life, people often complain that others are too complex, but few stop to ask, why do I feel this way? Often, others are merely mirrors reflecting our inner world. How you perceive others says more about you than them. Complexity doesn't lie in the world, it lies in the human heart. Everything changes depending on the state of your mind. If your heart holds beauty, then the world around you appears beautiful too. When your soul is simple, life becomes simpler. The higher your level of awareness, the more you'll seek simplicity. In this once-only life, live with a pure heart. Chase your ideals. Cross mountains and seas. Live the life you've always dreamed of. 36. Helping a person for 3 years may not earn gratitude, but feeding a dog for 3 days and it will remember you for 3 years. Sometimes, people are less loyal than animals. Stay away from the ungrateful. If lightning strikes them, it might hit you too. This may sound harsh, but it's a painful truth. No matter how kind you are to some people, they take it for granted. Some will hurt you for their own gain. Before winning the Nobel Prize, Mo Yan had a close cousin he helped many times. But after his success, that cousin mocked him, saying he got lucky and smeared his name just to elevate himself. Human hearts are fragile. Some people are like wolves in sheep's clothing. Their intentions can shift in a single year. You never really know if someone comes to you with goodwill or malice. The greatest evil is ingratitude. Never waste kindness on those who don't appreciate it. Love and loyalty should never be placed above truth and self-respect. 37. Running a red light has 2 outcomes. You arrive 1 minute earlier, or you lose your future entirely. Many rush into things, eager for quick results. They push themselves to go faster, only to burn out in both body and spirit. The famous illustrator Han Guo once went through a similar phase. He packed his schedule, gave himself no rest, and lost both creativity and health. Later, he shifted his focus to the process, not the outcome. In time, he successfully published a best-selling book and even held an exhibition. Life is a marathon, not a sprint. What matters is endurance, not speed. You can't rush tofu to cook faster. It'll only crumble. Likewise, rushing life leads to failure. The queen of the night only blooms once, but waits all day to do so. The cicada sings once, but it's waited through many seasons. Everyone has their own blooming season. Just be patient, steady, and persistent. the fruit will come. 38, while you're alive, be happy, because you're going to be dead for a long time. Some people live each day in misery, worrying over everything. But why? We came into this world with nothing and will leave the same way. Isn't it funny how we cling to so many desires knowing we can't take anything with us? We weren't born to torment ourselves. We were born to awaken. So live with more joy. Besides life and death, everything else is just a scratch. A gloomy life leads to regret. An optimistic one leads to meaning. At the end, you'll realize the pessimist dies with sorrow, but the optimist departs with a smile. 39. Only after experiencing birth, aging, illness, and death do you realize how trivial midnight sadness really is. Someone once asked, what truths are worth learning early in life? The answer was, aside from life and death, very little truly matters. When we're healthy, we magnify tiny problems, but when illness strikes, we understand how small those worries really were. Health is the foundation of everything. Without it, even the most beautiful world means nothing. Outside of life and death, everything else is just a scratch on the surface. Don't sacrifice your well-being for things that don't matter. Don't wait until your body collapses to feel regret. Start now, sleep early, move more. Taking care of your body is the highest form of self-respect and the truest love you can give your family. As writer Stepan Zaremba said, truth only exists in the present moment. There is no eternal truth. Life changes with every breath. The same event means something different to each person. The same flawed logic may awaken different people at different stages. The truly wise learn to look beneath the surface of flawed logic, and from that they build a life rich with insight and flavor. Thank you for listening, and may you walk your path with wisdom and peace.